Upon retrieving Zoltun Kulle's blood, we return to the desolate sands in search of his body and the promised Black Soulstone. Back at the waypoint, Kulle comments,
"My archives are at the northern tip of the desolate sands. There we will find my body and the Black Soulstone."
Again, Kulle vanishes in a plume of magicka and smoke, with his maniacal laughter that really doesn't garner any trust between us. Although his directions were indeed correct. At the northern point, we find the undead and some errant lacunae about. Yet it's not long before the Enchantress tells us not all is as it seems.
These lacunae are not evil, only frightened.
Well, you could have fooled us. The last couple had tried to take our head off with large sticks. Crossing a bridge to the northwest, we see the entrance to the archives, and Kulle appears before its entrance.
"Here is the entrance to my archives. Let me activate the portal."
Once inside the gusty portal, we see vast stone walkways and arcane energies crackle therein. Kulle once again appears and informs,
"I had to build all of this for my research and my experiments. The Black Soulstone was a complicated creation. I sacrificed much to make it.
We can only imagine if the original Soulstone shards were said to be of the World Stone itself, what he sacrificed would have been immense."
Kulle's hospitality is somewhat lacking.
An astute observation from the Enchantress. It feels less like we're welcomed into an abode, more so walking into a den of evil.
Looks like I got here just in time. Emperor Hakan? What are you doing here?
Good, everyone's together. I came to tell you that I have found Belial, and I am ready to lead you to him.
Then let's get the Black Soulstone and kill Belial.
All well and good, but first I will be made whole."
We're ready to do our part. Just you remember yours.
Although we're comforted by the sight of Leah, we're more so troubled by the visage of Hakan, querying what he's discovered of the Lord of Lies.
Have you discovered Belial's identity?
Yes, but we must be very careful. He has noticed your actions, and he grows nervous. You focus on the Soulstone. We can confront Belial afterward.
Although we agree with Hakan that we must focus on the Soulstone, curiously, he failed to divulge Belial's true identity.
"Beyond these portals lie 2 relics that were once powered by my blood. Take the vials you recovered and use them to activate the relics."
I will stay here and prepare the ritual. Be careful.
Wait, Kulle's blood as a Nephalem is that potent it can fuel his machines? That does not bode well for us. Before we head inside, we turn to Leah once more for any guidance that she can give.
Even after everything we've come to know about Zoltun Kulle, I never imagined anything like this. Maybe Adria is right about the Black Soulstone.
"You doubted me. How disappointing."
We almost forgot that Kulle hears everything, especially in his sanctum. It's then we move to the northwest and into the unknown depths. Inside, we are met with a maelstrom of magicka that holds this unnatural world together. Glyphs float thanks to Kulle's will, even long past his demise. Now alone, Kulle attempts to appeal to our Nephalem nature.
"Angels are no better than demons. Did you know that they once voted on whether or not to eliminate all of mankind? Only one vote saved us from extinction."
Tyraels?
"Yes. Whatever else he may be, he is the aspect of justice, and there is no justice in murder."
I guess we'll have to hold Kulle to that noble thought. It's not long before we find the first shadow lock that sits like a sea mine protruding from the middle of a dais. What is surprising is not the normal undead that have been guarding Kulle's own sanctum, but the serpentine forces of Belial himself pervade the area. Is there a dark pact that we're unaware of? Or perhaps we're too late and Belial is again one step ahead of us. After subduing the sickly serpents, we see again a hunter's journal in a satchel and the writings of Kull's own Horadrim brethren.
We will seal the shadow locks with vials of his blood, and we will hide the blood in the desert under eternal guard. I can only hope that the world does not forget of Kull's evil, and his blood remains undisturbed beneath the shifting sands.
Against our better judgment, we're undoing the work of Ibn Fard and his Horadrim brethren, unlocking the seal that has acted as a safeguard for Kull all this time. We see the lock's glyphs are etched with Kull's own blood, just as he had promised. For better or worse, the first shadow lock is open. We head back to the main area of the terminus and to the second shadow lock, aptly named the Storm Halls. Once inside, we see that the Storm Halls greatly parallel the unknown depths. The forces that oppose us, however, become greater, and as we're pursued through the halls to the southwestern side, we find Kull once again, who cryptically poses.
We all agree that the end times are upon us. But do you truly believe that Belial and Asmodan could have engineered these events?
If you have a point, Kull, please say it plainly.
Kull, however, prefers to keep things cryptic, leaving us to our fate, fighting off his guardians. Once contended with, we find another of the Horadrim's journals.
Try as we might, Kull simply cannot be killed. His cursed blood sustains him. He bleeds sand and his laughter mocks us. There is only one course of action left to us. We will separate his body and his head, and hide the body within the Shadow Realm.
Once both locks are opened, we move back to the terminus and see the portal to the Shadow Realm has opened before us.
The shadow portal lies here, waiting to be opened.
It's then the sandy visage of Kull himself counters.
The Horadrim did all this to lock my body away. They must have been very angry with me.
You have that effect on people.
They were never very imaginative.
The Shadow Realm itself is a separate realm from Sanctuary, where the Horadrim have placed Kull's body. Visually, it's a generic Act 2 Ruins dungeon, except for it is very dark, lit with dim red light and constantly swept by black, sandstorm-like torrents of smoke. It's said of the Shadow Vermin, they were wraith-like demons with long arms and narrow faces that glide through the darkness as easily as water, ready to smother their unwary prey. However, their origins are a subject of debate. Some scholars believe that these wraith-like foes are formed from concentrated demonic energy, while others believe they are souls of humans corrupted by Diablo. And Adria herself wrote that the Shadow Vermin are a concentration of Diablo's power, the fears of all mankind made manifest. How they became the guardians of this place is unknown. Upon reaching Kull's body, we find a vile sentinel, a super unique toxic construct which boasts teleporting, reflect damage, and poison enchanted affixes in combat. Its counterpart being a molten sentinel, which is, of course, endowed with a molten affix. Two guardians will always spawn to guard Kull's body, though sometimes it will be a frost and charge sentinel, although it is randomized, none of which should be taken lightly in combat.
The shadows themselves rise against us.
Now unguarded, we see the body of Zoltun Kulle. Instead of blood magic, we see Horadric symbols that have held it bound and in stasis. Retrieving it, Kulle then appeals.
You do not trust me, I understand. But we are more alike than you know. We have both tasted what it is to be Nephalem. Join with me, and we can become the masters of this world.
No, thank you.
Although we sense Kull's offer is in fact legitimate, we know if we threw our lot in with the disgraced mage, we would forever walk down a path of selfishness, conquering our fellow man instead of aiding them. As if bolstering this belief, as we move to exit the portal, we find the final writings of his old Horadrim brethren.
Kull mocks my every step. I try to shut him out, but his chattering is ceaseless. He takes joy in taunting me. I will not rise to the bait. I will not give in to him. I long for the silence that will come once I secure his head away.
We feel for the Horadrim of old and can't help but momentarily pause and question Tyrael's own decision-making in picking Kull, but who are we to question the greater machinations of an angel? Back in the terminus, we see Leah once more and present to her the torso of Kull.
I have Kull's body.
Then let me begin the ritual. But I'm warning you, Kull. You'd better not cross us.
You are surrounded by deceit, young one. I am the least of your concerns. Concentrate, Leah. Soon now. Just a bit longer. Just a moment. Almost. Yes. My blood thunders within me. This fetid air fills my ravaged lungs. I am alive again.
You're welcome.
Now, give us the Soulstone.
Very well. The bargain stands. Quickly, to my sanctum.
Kull, now whole again thanks to Leah's magicka, dissipates with his signature maniacal laughter and beckons us to his sanctum. And so we follow him into his Soulstone chamber to retrieve the promised Black Soulstone. Once inside the chamber, we see floating in the middle the ominous Black Soulstone, much larger than we had imagined, as it emanates dark, raw, barely contained evil. Kull, it seems, is not willing to give up his prize, but also shocked at his own revelation.
At long last, I can complete my life's work. All will tremble at my power. What is this? How has this happened? The souls of the dead lords of hell have been absorbed into the stone. Abandon your quest, Nephalem. Your allies seek only to control you. With the power I offer, you and I could rule over all creation.
It is too late for intrigue, Kull. Give me the stone.
Unsurprisingly, Kull rescinds on his former agreement to give us the Black Soulstone once his work is complete. But why? We're unsure. A fierce battle ensues in Kull's own circular arena. He's aided by two Eternal Guardian golems, which are quite slow but very resilient and hit hard in close combat. Kull himself cannot attack normally, but can use the following abilities: Teleport, which he can use to move around the arena; Slow Time, which is absolutely identical to the wizard's spell, aside from slightly different graphics, which slows movement of players within a sphere by 80% and attack speed by 30. Fireball, a medium speed projectile that deals area of effect fire damage, often used after Slow Time; and Energy Twister, which creates an erratically moving tornado of arcane energy, dealing heavy damage as arcane on contact. And contrary to popular belief, the Twisters do not home in on players. There's also the passive Cave-In after 1.5 seconds, which causes a rockfall across the wide area, causing heavy physical damage.
Not yet.
Although a formidable foe, Kull lets out his last maniacal laugh as we finally fell him, his golems destroyed, and his dreams of ruling the world as an unchallenged Nephalem come crumbling down like the walls around him.
Done.
As his body explodes in a wave of fire and sand, in his wake we find his journal, which reveals his thoughts on his capture.
The wards have been triggered. It seems my brothers have finally come looking for me. Damn them. I am not ready. Too much of my power is invested in the stone's creation. I must finish it. The future of mankind depends on it.
We can't help but feel a twisted form of empathy for Kulle. He clearly, on some level, believed in what he was doing. And perhaps he was right. But never should one's goal be to set themselves above others. We head back to Adria with the Soulstone in hand, and she reveals why Kulle was so shocked.
5 lords of hell now reside within this stone. This was your doing, Adria.
20 years ago, during the darkening of Tristram, Cain told me of Zoltun Kulle's profane soulstone.
That's why you left me. You went to mark the demon's souls so that they could be drawn into Kulle's vessel.
Yes, my daughter. I have sacrificed everything for this.
We're momentarily taken aback. Had we been so wrong about Adria with our misgivings? She sacrificed so much to trap the Lords of Hell. Back at the hidden camp, we then ask Adria what would happen if indeed we trapped all of the evils. Would they not break free and terrorize the world again?
So we trapped Belial and Azmodan in the Soulstone. What then?
Then I shatter it, and the Lords of Hell will be no more.
A bold plan, and easier said than done. We still have 2 Lords of Hell to trap, Belial and Azmodan, surrounded by enemies and lies. Our hunt for the Lord of Lies nears an end.